Hi guys, today I'd like us to discuss about a new novel. That one is Revan the Source. In Revan the Source, we have a character known as Oderogogni. Oderogogni is a chief. He says that a house without a daughter is like a stream without a source. So he has 9 sons and he doesn't have any daughter. So this day was like a great day to him, where one daughter was born, a daughter by the name Akoko. She had been called the name Akoko because of the noise that she used to make. Her mother Akesh decided to call the name of all those people, ancestors who died, to find the name that is going to please the child. And found the name of her sister, not her mother. Grandmother is the one who started to chant by calling the name of those people who died to find a suitable name for her grandchild so that she can stop crying. And she found out that the name that pleased the child was the name of her sister, the sister to her grandmother who died. By the time when her grandmother is saying that I decided I left my family and come to a family helping me to give birth. It was something that was normal by that time. So Akoko is born. After Akoko has been born, it reached 17th centuries where he's supposed now to be married, but all the men are coming. Like in traditional men would come and check first the characters of, well, they're first of all sending spies to check the character of a girl is when they come and ask their hand in marriage. So the rich men came, but his father saw that none of those men, none of them was suitable for her daughter, her only daughter, Akoko. So there come another man here who was a chief too, and his name was Odori. A man came who was a chief. Yeah, when who was a chief in another village. His dad just died recently, and he didn't have any wife, and he must have a wife for him to be allowed to be a chief, because after his father has died, he's supposed to marry and have a wife. He's when he's allowed to rule. So Owor Siru came here and asked a hand in marriage. After when he asked a hand in marriage, yeah, Oderogogni, they saw the how her daughter was precious, and so then he gave out the double price to check them if they really love her, if they can really go to extent and give more dowry for the sake of Akoko. So they provided 30 cowries. That one was more than whatever that is supposed to be done. Yeah, as in it was double the bride price, until Otieno, the brother to Owor, or it is Owor Kembo, the brother to Owor Kembo, started feeling bad. It's like all the women are the same. Why is this my brother Owor Kembo providing a double bride price for, yes, a mere lady? But when Akoko was now allowed to come in after they have already discussed all of this, they have already come with the cow. You know, they're supposed to see the woman that they're paying cowries for. When other women do come and they're being paid dowry, they usually come when their heads are low, as in wanainamisha vichwa zao. But Akoko came when her head was high and her eye was in touch with Owor Kembo's eye. And so we are seeing a first sight love in this place. They happened. They never considered something like first love thing to happen before people to be announced as spouses. So then he took Akoko into her home. Now Akoko, I forgot to tell you one thing. Akoko now is going to be Amikai. Amikai is a first woman to her husband, and now it was not going just to be Amikai to any husband, but Amikai to a chief Owor Kembo. So this is how this family ties go. It is Oderogogni. The child of Oderogogni is Akoko. Akoko is married to Owor Kembo. Now Owor Kembo and Akoko, they first had their first child, Obura. Okay, it is Obura, the first child, Obura. Then they had their second child, which is Owor Sugo. Owang not Owang. Let me check. Sorry for that. Nyakoko and Owor Kembo had three children. The first child was Obura. The second child was Owang Sino. And the third child was Nyabera. Nyabera was called Nyabera because she was beautiful. So Obura reached at this age this age of teenage, and he wanted to go and view nature, and her parents were like, you're not supposed to go anywhere because you're the one to descend the throne after your father. Even before that moment reached, they found fight between Akoko and her mother-in-law in this place. They're saying that there's a way that Akoko has bewitched their only son because their son doesn't want to get married to another wife, and Akoko birth rate speed is low. Like Akoko akwa na zaza kama unguru. Her birth rate speed was low. You only managed to have those 3 children. So they were like, our son or Kimbo, kindly find another wife so that we can have a lot of children in this place. And but the first time that Owang Kimbo saw Akoko, they literally fall in love, and they felt like, I don't want another woman to come between us, like I'm contented with this one, something like that. So when they called Akoko a witch, Akoko really felt bad. Now she decided that she's going to move from that place to another place. Akoko ndio huyo akapanga virago vyake. He just arranged all of his things and decided to go back to her maternal home, because how can somebody decide and tell you that you have bewitched his son? Who does this? His son is the one who has decided to love her that much. And in that traditions, they're like, when you have a lot of women, there is the class and the league that you have been placed. A chief was not supposed to have a one wife. They're supposed to have more than one wife. But what happened? Decided to have Akoko peke yake. So Akoko decided to go back home. When he went back home, so Owor Kimbo returned, and it's like, where is my wife? And they narrated everything that happened. He beat his brother Otino Kimbo to death, but he didn't die, but he beat him severely. Then after beating him, he went to her mother and quarreled her thoroughly. Who does this to my wife? So then he went back to the maternal home of Akoko and decided to negotiate with the parents to allow Akoko to come back. Now when their son Obura, so that his first son was Obura, the second son was Owang Sigo, Owang, sorry, yeah, it is Owang Senior, their second wife, and then Nyabera, the third wife. I'm sorry for that. So Obura was a teenager after he has already become a teenager. He's like, I need to go and view the world. And their parents like, you can't go and view the world because you're the one supposed to descend the throne. So you just need to stay here, search for a wife, and marry, and start giving children before the time is. Oh, but there were some friends. I've forgotten the name of those his friends. Those friends came back and started to tell Bura the story about the white men, how the white men are behaving, how they are getting money, such sort of thing. And Obura was much interested, like, I want to go to the same place. So their parents also called this their two friends and asked them never to go anywhere with their son. But what is fate? It's like fate is something that has been that is said to be, and so then it does happen. So she decided to go with them that following day, and when they went there, they were enrolled. They were enrolled in this Jeshi thing, and they were among the people who fought in the First World War. And so then after something like 2 months, they received the news that their son Obura is dead. This is where the death mystery started in this family. Now people are going to die until you're going to ask yourself, like, what was this thing arranged to be like this? Why can they just sleep? They're just saying, like, I don't know what. So the first child died like that. After he has died, now then Owang Sino, that name is really difficult, I'm sorry. Owang Sino, now the second son, he saw that he didn't want to disappoint his parents, so he decided to get married to a wife. The name of her, so Owang Sino decided to get married to a wife. It's like, my elder brother doesn't, my elder brother has already made my parents proud, so I'm the one to sit next on the throne. So he decided to marry early so that he can be able to have children early, so that everything will be sorted well. So after he has already gotten married to that wife, Alando, who their father Kimbo passed. Their father Owor Kimbo passed. Now Owang Sino and her wife Alando, that the one who took the throne. That one is after the death of Owuor Kembo. Now the two people that have died here, we have Obura, the first child who died in the war when he wanted to go and rule the world, and now the second person who is now his father. That one is Owuor Kembo died. Now Owang Sino and Alando has taken the throne. Yeah, they have taken the throne. Now they've already taken the throne. They first of all had a child. Walianza na pace nile nye tunaoana na ni haraka haraka mtoto. Yeah, no, those people lack patience. Wajivote tunapenda lifespan sijui ya maybe 3 months 4 months kitu kama hiyo. Ilikuwa na lifespan ilikuwa tu ati yani sisi hivyo tumeoana na hivyo mtoto haraka haraka, hizo stories ziishe. Now the first child that they gave birth to, his name was his father is Owang Sino. Now his name was Owuor Sino. His name was like the name of his grandfather. Grandfather's name was Owuor Kembo. Now the grandchild name is Owuor Sino, and the child to this Owuor Kembo is Owang Sino. Now Owang Sino, the father to Owuor Sino, Owuor Kembo, the grandfather to Owuor Sino. And those names are challenging. When you read this story, you just need first of all to master these characters, because their names were, yeah, but it is sweet. It has a sweet flow. Now after that one has already happened, such sorts of things. After Owang Sino get married to Alando, but they love beautiful ladies. For a person to be called Alando, it means she was like, those people say that me nataka light skin. Yeah, Owang Sino knew how to choose, and then akachagua mama anaitwa to Alando. That one was a light skin. Now after Owang Sino and Alando had their child, that one is Owuor Sino. Owang Sino again passed. You know, he passed in a funny way. They were eating fish, and the bone of the fish choked him, and so then he passed. Now we are seeing this story up to this place. People are dying. The first person to die, Obura. After Obura has died, his father, Owuor Kembo. After Owuor Kembo has died, now it is Owang Sino. 3 people are already dead. Just like that. Now, her daughter Nyabera went on and got married. Nyabera was married. You know the name of his husband? Mark is the name of his child's husband. Let me check. My apologies, I couldn't remember that I've written the name of Nyabera's husband. Sorry for that. But Nyabera got married. After Nyabera was married, he first of all gave birth to 3 children instantly. Like unaniona na you want children. Now after he was already married and found that there are 3 children, those 3 children, they all died just like that. Unafika haraka haraka, unazifanya haraka haraka, unapata watoto haraka haraka, then those children just die suddenly. That's how painful it was. The first 3 children just died like that. After that, she really felt bad, and so then she had another child with the name Awiti. Now when they found this child Awiti, she performed a lot of rituals. She's like, my children are like that, I need to perform ritual for this one to remain, yeah, for this one to still remain alive. So after you already have that her child Akoko, remember in this family, a child Awiti, remember in this family of Akoko, the husband to Akoko is dead. The husband to Alando is dead. This guy, Nyabera has gone to a family whenever that he has gotten married. So yeah, it's like we have remained with Akoko, Owuor Sino, the grandchild, and Alando. So Akoko decided to take care of Owuor Sino because Alando cannot remain like that, and that was only one husband, so she had to go and look for her elsewhere. So Akoko decided to take Owuor Sino. They went to see their child. That one was they decided after the death of one of these people, Owuor Sino was the one who was supposed to take the throne, but he could not take the throne because he was still young. he was young, he was very young now, was not allowed to take the throne. So the person who could descend the throne was Otieno Kembo. Otieno Kembo is the brother to Owuor Kembo. When Otieno Kembo took the throne, he decided like to take everything that belonged to those people. Like ameanza kunyang'anya Bibi Njani. He had to take everything that belonged to those people, like taking the properties, and also to a level that he wanted also to take the what do you say this, the properties of Akoko. So Akoko heard of these people whom are known as Sirkal, that they come from Kisuma. Kisuma was the initial name for Kisumu, that they come from Kisuma. So she decided to go there and took her grandson, who is Owuor Sino, to her maternal home, to her brother who is known as Ochola. Ochola gave him two of his the twins. The twins that Ochola have, that one is Opio and Odongo. So he gave them Olo gave Akoko, the two granddaughter, the twins Opio and Odongo, to accompany him to Kisuma. When they reached Kisuma, they went on and saw the DC, and they gave out evidence. The DC sent out their people to go and speculate over that this Akoko is saying if it is true, and they found out that it was true. And they found out that it was true, justice was on their side, justice was performed. So it's like continue to be removed from the throne, of they give another person to sit on that throne as they wait for Owuor Sino to grow. And now Mary, because of how she felt bad, Mary, her name is actually, we call her Nyabera. Nyabera decided to go and look for this new religion because her children are really like shit. And you see that she wanted to go and see how life is outside there. So she went to these white people, the missionary, and when she went there, she was taken to a missionary school. When she was taken to a missionary school, first of all, she learned as a missionary student. As a missionary student, after being taught those church things, she was baptized, and her name changed from Nyabera to Mary. Yeah, Nyabera name changed to Mary. After her name has already changed to Mary, was enrolled in a school and decided to come back and take Veronica Owang Sino, not Veronica, Akoko Owang Sino, her daughter Awiti, take them to the place that she was living. And when they went there, like they were all enrolled in those missionary things to a level that Akoko's name was changed to Veronica, and Akoko's name to Veronica, Nyabera name to Nyabera name to Mary, and Owang Sino, his name was changed to Petro Owang Sino. Now this Petro Owang Sino, after he was already enrolled here, Petro Owang Sino. No, we have also another child, Awiti name was changed to Elizabeth. Now after Mary has finished learning there, Mary is Awiti's mother. After she's already finished learning those church things, her name changed to Mary from Nyabera. Akoko name changed from Veronica to Awiti. Now the two children, that one is Owuor Sino and Awiti, were also enrolled. While Owuor Sino was enrolled, he had interest to become a priest, and so then he went to her mother, that one is her grandmother Akoko, and asked her if she could allow her to be a priest. And they're like, you're supposed to be a king, but that if it is the wish of your heart, so then we allow you. So parents allow children to follow their will, the desires of their heart at some point if it's positive. Yeah, so then he was allowed to follow his will to become a priest, but the request was one: even if you want to change your name to become a priest, but take the name of your grandfather Kembo. Now his name changed to Petro Owuor Kembo. Now he became a priest. But with Awiti, whom her name changed to Veronica, he really worked hard, and she was beating, according to performance, she was really performing well to a level that those boys were seeing dust. They were like, this girl is overworking. So then, because of her intelligence and her continued performance, as she was performing well, the missionary decided to enroll her into this TSC things after she's already finished those primary, secondary education sorts of thing. Now they decided to enroll her to a TSC that was going to learn teaching. When he learned teaching is when he met the lover of his life. That one was Mark Antony Sino. And Mark Antony Sino was there. Now they became married. After they became married, this Mark Antony Sino, their marriage was, as in waliunganishwa. Their marriage was conducted by the priest brother who is Petro or Campbell. Before their marriage was done, their grandmother, that is Akoko just passed away. Akoko, the name Veronica, she passed away and she was buried at that place that they didn't take her body back to her maternal place, but she was buried there. So they cried after mourning. Now they decided, now the one who has remained as the great person is now, how do you call her, Mary, who is Nyakoko, the one that has remained in that house alone. So they helped them in holding up their wedding, and they got married. That one is Mark Antony Sino, and her new name now was Elizabeth or Awiti. They got married. After they've already got married, this Mark Awor Sino worked as a farmer in a big company. After they have worked there for time, these things of colonialism come. The Kenya was trying to try for its independence. So Mark decided to send his wife and the children that were already born. That one was Becky and Vero, who were twins. They have Auro, they have Tony. It's like they sent 3 kids. That one is Becky and Vero, and this Auro. I think it was Auro, if I'm not wrong. Yes, Auro. They were sent back to the village. They went there and sat with their mother, that one Elizabeth, and their grandmother, whom is their grandmother by the name Mary. So her mother was now working to a nearby primary school, just at their location. And then after they've already got independent, their father Mark Antony Sino was promoted to a level of a manager. Now they moved from the small house that they were living to a big house. Now at their home, this Veronica and Becky, Vero was really brilliant. Vero could really perform. That when they were sitting for their final exam, Vero found an opportunity to go to a national school. But Becky was more beautiful, and everybody was like, this girl is beautiful. She was really beautiful, but brain upstairs was a little bit less. She was not that much brave. So Vero, because she loved her sister genuinely, but her sister Becky didn't love her that much. It wasn't a genuine love. So Vero decided to give up on her opportunity to go to a national boarding school and following her sister to just a mere day school. But at the time that she saw the characters of her sister has already changed, her sister Becky has already changed. Now she decided that she's going to work hard and going to reach her dream. So after they did their final exam, by the time they were doing the final exam, they had also their child Auro wanted to go to a national school, that the same that was called, the same that her sister Vero was called, and he performed. Auro really performed well and went there. And Tony is also like, I want to be like my brother. So like in that family legacy, everybody was like, I want to work hard to reach at the level of this person. So that they've already did their final examination. That one is maybe, let me say KCSE, for Becky and Vero. The parents of Becky and Vero were like, Becky, you cannot be an air hostess. You have to do the big courses, the beautiful courses. But Becky was like, I just want to do this. So Becky wrote a letter to her sister and told her that she's going to a friend of us that is going to enable her to find an opportunity to enroll and work as an air hostess. So in Nairobi, so as she went there, she was enrolled there at the airport, and Becky went to Vero went to UN, where he was studying this thing of electrical engineering sorts of thing. Electrical engineering. So she went on and met her sister Becky, and her sister Becky found her working there as an air hostess, and he was in love with and this one was an Arabian man, and this Arabian man, they also got married, but after some times waliwachana, and they only had two children. That one is Aisha and John. And they know that Becky, because of her beauty, she became something like prostitution. So she was sleeping like with all men, and she got an infection. That one, which was AIDS, and Becky just died. Her beauty was just buried like that. Her dreams shattered. Yeah, she died. After Becky has died, her sister Vero didn't want to be married. Yeah, Vero was not married. Vero also became something like a sister. Vero became a sister and to a certain Catholic church, and there she was also doing that a course of electrical engineering sorts of thing. Aoro studied medicine. Tony also decided to become a priest, like his, how do you say this, like that one of his relative, which is Opetro War Kimbo, who decided to become a priest. So Tony also followed the footstep and became a priest. But this Auro became a medicine man, where he met at this Muranga guy. Forgotten the name for Wandira. This Muranga guy by the name Wandira. Wandira was also studying medicine. So they got married. That one is Wandira and Wandira and Aoro. And this one was like a unique thing, because it was like Mjaluo. They were like, if you're a Luo, you get married to a Luo, but they're the first time to break those ties, where Muranga girl got married to this Luo girl. That one is Aoro. And Wandira. It is Wandira. Yeah, Wandira. After they've already gotten married, they had 2 children. That one is Daniel and Lisha. Daniel and Lisha. They had 2 children. That one is Daniel and Lisha, and decided to adopt the 2 children of Becky. That one was Aisha and Johnny. And that one was now a new big family. So Wandira still had passion on studying. She went on and did her master's on medicine, and now she was the first person to be enrolled at the University of Nairobi, a woman person who managed to do masters. So he was that much brave. So this family, after some times, now when they heard that the mother Elizabeth is dead, now they went on into her burial. These people died. That is how that family ended up. Like when Veronica has become a sister, but a sister who is doing electrical engineering. Becky just died. Aoro got married to Wandira. Wandira had 2 children. The one is Daniel and Lisha, but Daniel had signs of, I don't know, but he had a disease. There's a disease that he was suffering from. So then they adopted these other children. That one was Aisha and June. That's how the family legacy continued. So I don't know after there how it continued, but there is a lot of change. For the people who have died in this novel, many, the first person who has seen the death was the grandfather. That one is, I mean, like in overall, in this story, lots of people have really died, and those people who have managed to live, their legacy have really continued into the, as in, it is just good. There's like something of theme of change. They move from traditions now to the new life. Like these missionaries have brought some sort of change to the life of these people, that they are being called such sorts of important people, like in life, something like that. So that one is all for today for River and the Source. The River and the Source, why the story is called like this, the River and the Source. You remember I told you Odero Bogni, the father to Hoko, said that a house without a daughter is like a stream without a source. Now the source of this entire story is Akoko. Akoko is like the one who has started the legacy up to where it is, even though she has died, but she was somehow a courageous woman, things that she could be able to do, no man even could be able to do. Which man, as in women, after their husband has died, they just allow those people who stay with them to take their wealth, something like that. But with her, she had courage also to go and face the Sirkal, there at Kisuma to fight for her right. So like her right was good. And to parents now, always allow your children to follow the dreams of their heart. The same way Akoko allowed Owor Sino to follow the dream of his heart, even though he was like a person who was supposed to be a chief at their community, but Akoko just allowed her to follow the dreams of her heart, of his heart. Now he became a priest and he did this thing with passion because he really loved it. That was all for today in River and the Source. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry for the confusion of characters. The name of those characters were, it is difficult to master, but we thank God for the grace for the day of today that has enabled us to meet, isn't it? It's because of his mercy, yeah, that I've found chance or opportunity to do so in the second novel. So be blessed. Bye.